Um, it's June 8th, 2016, Saturday, and we're here to talk about the Prince on Drugs line, the drugging Prince. You know, it wasn't drugs, so we're not going to promote continue to promote a lot. We do come to you saying that because the Simpsons and this quote Illuminati, I'm not going to use that too much after the video, but just to let you know that they had already prophesied or predicted that they would be killing Prince. Well, into ministry to in another video, but this video is to say that you have to respect his religious belief that he's had going on these 16 years, thinking 1,000 until he totally converted on Jehovah's Witness in the public, and you got to respect that. And to see that he died from an overdose, whereas you say that uh, the other who died from cancer and they are murdered. Everybody gets some respect except Prince, but they run to his home, his money, they clothes, they're selling them, they're money off of him in every way they can. But all you know, and the people that loved him, you know that he wasn't on drugs. What are we going to do about it? Now that's where we're going with puzzle pieces. That's the name of the YouTube channel. What are we gonna do about all the lies coming through the media? We saw where the young singer was just killed in Laos, and it was the first mass shooting ever in history. Well, I'm a native, and there has been so many mass killings of Native Americans, and I don't like using the American Native weird conversation and indigenous, but even the natives have shown up to the people that come and said there's enough for everyone to live, and we with the murders. You know, the Prince was our love, and we know that he was on drugs and died of an overdose. Means somebody poisoned him. That means somebody injected drugs into him or gave him pills that they claimed. He was a not only vegetarian, who keep talking about this vegetarian, which would mean that he didn't do no drugs because he watched what went into his body. So this is to put up there that he didn't do drugs and that he died of an overdose. They instant murder. What looking inwardly this video is that his murder was from programming, and not only from the Simpsons programming that he would murder in 2008, which 8 years later, and a Illuminati. Um, it's not an Illuminati number, um, but uh, they were able to let you years in advance. Now, I've been told by Wayne that they could predict, but Little Wayne's video predicted the happening 4 days in advance. He put out video, said that the exact amount of people were going to be murdered in that day. and where each one of those people would be. So if a Wayne had forecast and forecast, then there's happening that we should be entitled to say information. These secret that only military personnel know. It is not acceptable, and that should uh, not be allowed. We also know in Denzel Washington, Deja Vu, that he was able to go back into the past for his 24 hours, and to do that it required a lot of um, um, energy, electricity. It actually burned out electric grids. We experienced that the grid on the East Coast being burned out from Niagara Falls all the way to the New York, the Atlantic Ocean, which means that they are something that affects us, and how to uh, uh, how we get them to give that to us. So we are going to have to come up with a solution to how do we get this information, because we know that they know the future. It's going to happen in the future. Now, this video programming, because to stop Prince playing, some people predicting that he has killed one of turning that one around. Just being a little investigative here, a little forensic information. Prince made it right to uh, Minnesota. He was just as close to Minnesota as he was close to the place where his plane turned around, which meant someone in that plane was controlling him. And we know we have that information in his plane. If anybody is, they said that. But back to this whole this video is about for somebody to kill Prince. This video is about him being murdered. For them to him, they had to get to alert Prince to in his house. It's all about understanding that he has a cook, he has a housekeeper, he has people that's there at the studio 8 to 5 at least to run the operation. So even his cook has said that he doesn't get up until about 2 o'clock. And he said it himself, he doesn't like being up when everybody else is calm. He thinks better when it's calm. And even when they found him, they said he had been dead for a while. So we're putting his death at about 2:23, 2:43, 3, because let's see, 23, so, because his number is 7. And a lot of what I'll be doing with puzzle pieces is esoteric occult type of information to show that Prince predicted it. It's in the numbers, it's in the Masonic order, it's in the stars, all those things. I'll be presenting the channel. I'm not a psychic, but I will be having psychics here. I'm just going to do it basic science, and that I am. Okay, so he normally gets up around 2, so he's either killed about 2:23 or 2:40, and it was an advertisement on a few days before it was killed too, saying that they were going after Black Panther, and all the Black Panthers have been killed, and then the Tupac's mom killed right afterwards. So and then the way they show this Black Panther, um, they show him in Jaguar, the commercial in Jaguar, they're in a studio, like Prince's studio. You see the video I posted on the next video. I should have had it here instead of try to, yeah, I should have put it out, but I'm improving in this broadcast. So I just want to throw out there that we know that in age, uh, today's time, is that killers are not who they are. They're credit for it because they are getting from it. So we knew from the Simpsons that the industry and that uh, all entertainment, they own all the media, they own all of sport, and so the ones that's involved. Then we know in the Minority, which is used for and the Queen, who's the fake queen. She's not really the queen, so she's killing everybody she can to keep her uh, the crown. So the point is, and the Pope, and we know the Pope is controlling the union by making everybody Catholics, and no Catholics can Jesus. So we're fighting at least those three groups. I recently, yesterday, on Yahoo that Russia was saying that the United States is the greatest power. Well, how is the United States the greatest power when the Queen owns more of the planet? And I think Rothschild's own all the finances. The Queen owns the people in planet Australia and her Pope married and run this what they call a corporation called the United States. Well, that's enough. Right now we are I'm just showing love for my prince, and trying to show that his murderers did announce that they had the murder. And a lot of people don't like this and don't want to hear this. But the person that announced it, that did the murders, was President Obama and his wife Michelle told the Queen, "See, we got it done." And I read uh, uh, the Harry, the Queen's grandson. I don't know whether became Rufus Red disappeared out of nowhere and kills everything because he slammed on basketball. Like, yeah, look, here's the slam case. And that's really important because that showed that the three of them, the four of them were involved in Prince. It's my Prince. And so I'll be on puzzle pieces. We'll be looking at pieces to the puzzle and putting the pieces uh, on things that are occult, esoteric, now. That's what we're doing with those kind of things. See, let's just put for a possibility that the media now when it disappeared that Will Smith had called Prince. That made the last one to speak to Prince. And we know that Will Smith is involved with President Obama. And so Will Smith called Prince to say, hey, look, the president wants to come by, play basketball, maybe that's how we got in. Because whoever it was, Prince loved him. So it must have been pretty comfortable with whoever it was that killed them. We have not given the the video from his Paisley. He had video cameras everywhere, and if they want to prove to us he took the drugs himself, then they should show us video. They don't even give us opinion on the deaths, and they should have his body so fast. So all those things we know that he was killed. So there's a lot of talk that President Obama is a clone, and that he created what one of the jumpers, the jump rumors. He's not one from the time traveler, but the jump guy said that Obama was made. And then there's the gossip about him being that's all in his head. It's well possible that he killed. It's a clone that talks to the people now, and if so, he would be the soldiers, because why even kill him and make him if you're not going to kill the super. So we're dealing with that too. That whatever happened is a program. It is a programming through television. It has proved that it's a programming they do all the time. We know that material is strong in quantum physics, which may also you guys hear. But to keep it simple, ever since World War II, they've been working with mind control, using trauma. They call it programming sex with young boys, and that way uh, the trauma would make boys do what they do. And we know a lot of those young boys went to Hollywood and to Wall Street. And now they're shutting down Wall Street. So a lot of kids out, they're old and dead. And that's what they're shutting down Wall Street. Hollywood is taking on a new face. But I just wanted to throw out there that the programming, it's psionic abilities, where, and I think Beyonce showed this in one of her presentations at one of the awards, because even though she's a beautiful woman, she's very talented, and I'm not taking anything away from her, but Beyonce is not. And at the board, she was so articulate. She was more articulate than I've ever heard her be before or after. But a beautiful woman, I think everybody has said, just she's under mind control, and mind control has taken it to a whole other level. It's called science ability. It's a trauma-based ability. One of the ladies that worked with Dr. Von Brown, which Von is not Robert's name, and Brown may have not been for this, but we know that the German scientists that came with other identities. But was Von Braun? He created one of these psyops, to use that word, psyops or psionic abilities, to communicate with a school teacher. His school teacher has confessed, made a video that he was able to lecture a whole group of people and say whatever Von Braun wanted her to say. He was in a hospital room. So we know these abilities have existed for years, at least 40 years. So it doesn't matter if one was under hypnosis or mind control or what. But I think the bottom line of and that don't be talking about he had a drug overdose unless I want to include that he was with that drug overdose. He was infected with that drug overdose. He was with the drug overdose. I know a lot of people don't like OJ. I don't believe he did the murder. A lot of people just want the black guy to have killed the white girl. Nobody wants the could be on drugs and was killed by the dope man. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants it to be Colombian hit, cut down the back. Nobody wants to accept truth. That's for me, like it or not. And so, but even with that, the evidence was saying evidence was saying it. And when you call it feds in, the sheriffs are must people. They're in society to support and protect the masonry of way of the system. And that's what the system has been in Georgia. Michigan was a mason and all of the pre-programmed masonry. So that's what we're looking at. That I know everybody's afraid what you're gonna do about it. Everybody's um, we will come up with something with this. Um, we're looking at Prince's music. He had a lot of answers. He left a lot of answers. He left a will. Remember that in his song down. And so we know we have will. We know that he didn't leave anybody anything in that will. He says in that song that he kissed his ass, lay him face down with his ass. And he said the people would have number, but he was showing all this love. We're showing so much love to us that the planet itself changed courses. So much love to us that 5 planets went a retrograde, maybe 7. I won't even tell what planets it is, but I know there's at least 12. In prehistoric records, it shows there's 21 planets, and so at least 5. We know probably 7 because this number went into retrograde, and Orion's belt was here. Uh, so we did discuss some of those things in uh, this video. Subscribe, like, and comments, and I look forward to you another time.